If you think this week's adventure took place in another continent, you would be wrong. In fact, it only took an hour and 15-minute helicopter ride from Manila. I was invited by my longtime travel buddy Archie to spend time on a yacht he had a use of. And I knew just the place to take it, an exotic local destination that brings you to a different part of the Philippines, which I haven't visited in years. For this trip, we are taking the Agusta 109 Power. It is of Italian make and has proven itself in light transport, even in medical evacuation, search and rescue, and military roles. But today, it serves the purpose of taking us on our mini vacation.
Clear, clear.
The ride to the southwest of Manila was breathtaking. As we closed in on our destination, we were greeted by large rock formations and beautiful seascapes. This is Busuanga. It is the closest point in Palawan from Manila and is the largest island of Calamian Archipelago in the north part of Palawan province in the Philippines. But the gentle landscape of Busuanga isn't our target for a touchdown just yet.
Okay, helicopter 2726, we have minimal wind. We have a little bit from the northeast. We are now prepared for your arrival.
Okay, I'll have to make that pattern again. I'm right on top of you, but we'll make the pattern.
Okay, sir. Okay, have a safe landing, and we're standing by.
It was a smooth landing aboard the Archangel, our home in Busuanga for the rest of the weekend.
So welcome on board Archangel. Let me show you around the vessel.
Okay.
Okay.
That will be great.
As the
Of course, we'd love to.
So welcome to the bridge. We have all the
It's almost like an airplane.
we have all the latest navigation equipment to keep us stable.
Are you sure this is a 78 boat?
Yes, I am sure.
Doesn't look it.
I know. That's the beauty of conversion. I have CCTV all over the ship. I have radars. I have active at-anchor stabilization, so if there were any swell in this harbor, I could stay stable.
and it will do it on its own.
Yeah, it's computerized and it's got a sensor and it does what it needs to do.
The ship also has a wing station that lets the captain get a full visual and see the whole ship. All the controls of the bridge are also available here.
This is a wing station. If I need to get a full visual of what I'm doing and see the whole ship. So I come out here, I switch over. I got to make sure that I take command on this starboard wing. So
And that has to be lighted then, huh?
yeah, so I press this, that gives me bow thruster. I press this, it gives me throttle control.
Right.
And I press this, and this gives me steering.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Interesting.
and I also have a horn.
I like that.
Push it again.
Okay.
The Archangel has a total of 12 staff and 1 captain on board. It takes 3 generators to power up the ship. It has 7 cabins, a fully functional kitchen with a walk-in freezer, a main saloon, and speedboats stowed away on its belly. It even makes its own water and has enough fuel to circumnavigate the world once. It's really a self-supporting home away from home. We visited the vessel's vast and very clean engine room.
So Ed, what are we doing now? This is the whole engine.
Sir, we are just about to prepare to start the main engine. By doing that, we have to charge the air compressor motor starting.
I see. So it's a compressor
It's a
start.
start,
It's
yeah.
like an airplane, huh?
Air
Air start. Yeah.
Oh.
Rocker arms.
This is rocker arm, sir.
So how big are the pistons?
Oh,
The pistons are this big.
yeah. This is a water maker, sir, and we can make 12 liters per minute.
12 liters per minute.
Yeah.
So every time we're making fresh water.
Yes, sir.
So I can take a shower.
Yeah. Every time you want.
Life aboard the Archangel is really a welcome retreat. You can pass the time doing leisurely activities and just taking in the beauty of the place where you are docked. Of course, the beauty of being in a luxury yacht is that you can always hoist your anchor and go exploring, which is exactly what we did next. Find out where the rudders took us up next. I'm still on mini vacation with my good friend Archie, his wife Ling, and other friends aboard the Archangel. We are anchored in one of the coves in Busuanga, and today we decided to take one of the speedboats and head off to the nearby island of Kalawi. Located in the northwestern tip of Busuanga, Kalawi Island is a very interesting place because it is home to exotic and endemic species of animals that roam freely in this wildlife sanctuary. It has a substantial population of African animals including giraffes, zebras, and antelopes, as well as local fauna that all coexist in this game reserve that has existed since the 1970s under President Marcos's term. I went off to see these species of flora and fauna living in their natural habitat.
And those are the Kalamian deer. They're normally always hiding and very fearful of people. But over here, because they're so used to meeting people, everyone is friendly and I can go very close to them. Most of the zebras are already island-born. The original parents that came from Africa have all passed away. These are the Indian trees. If you notice, all of them are shaped like a ball. The reason for that is because all these giraffes munch on them. And because they're tall, it turns out to be like a ball.
Today, I'm meeting with a parks manager for over 20 years to learn more about this curious haven for wildlife.
Hello, good afternoon, Captain Joy.
Hi, Roy.
Welcome back.
Right.
Yeah, I heard that you're here in the area, so I want to meet you again.
Well, I enjoyed myself already. I've been walking around, looking at the animals. You know, every time I'm here, Froy, can't stop myself from just exploring the place.
That's why we wanted also to announce this to the public that this is a nice place here in the Philippines.
I know.
Yeah.
Very few people know.
It was located here in the northern tip of Busuanga pala. We were so much lucky.
But how long ago did you start this?
Well, the project started 1976.
Roy has been in the park the year it opened and has witnessed how the African animals have adapted to living in the island with the local species.
How has it been? Has the project been progressing the way you want it to be? Or how are things in the island now?
Well, you know, the real concept of this project is to conserve and preserve the remaining animals we have here, and also these African animals, which one response of the Philippine government to the call of the International Union for the Conservation of Nature.
Very good. That's very good.
To become a temporary reservoir of the African animals.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. But even our local deer, I saw so many of them.
Yes.
Are we successful with our local
Yes,
species
we
as
could
well?
say that we are so much successful because comparing to the other side or the Calamian Islands, when we started the project, almost 25 heads of Calamian deer present in this
Only
island.
25.
Yeah. Yes.
But now there's...
So now, less than 1,000 of Calamian.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
And what about the animals? Do you intend to add a little bit more, or you feel the place is getting too small?
In terms of area capacity, we could still add or even some species of the animals. For the giraffe, you know, the island could accommodate about 80 to 90 heads. So we have only 19 heads existing now. And for the grazers, like for example the zebras and other antelopes, so by hundreds it could accommodate. So we wanted also to have some more species, which the government I think wants. So they're still looking forward, and in the near future, if ever we have enough funds, we could import.
So I hope they support you, huh? Because it's a very good project, Roy.
Yeah, by concept, they're supporting us.
Well, Roy, I can't express how much I enjoy myself every time I'm here. I wish I can share this with all my friends, and I think for kids, this is a fantastic place.
Yeah, thank you very much, Captain Joy, and we hope that I can spread this information to other friends we have and other people, so that they can experience also what you are experiencing here in the project.
So, Roy, I better get going.
Okay.
Too many nice places to see here in Busuanga.
Yes. Thank you for visiting this time.
Walking around, I chanced upon a basketball game taking place among the park staff members. I thought I'd try if I can still shoot a few hoops. It's very interesting how the locals and Palawan's indigenous species have learned to coexist harmoniously with the African animals here. The 3,700-hectare park is their home, and it gives great awareness and appreciation for the conservation of wildlife. Later that day, Archie and I felt like exploring a little bit more, so we decided to see the famous mangrove forests that populate the coves of Busuanga. Mangroves are trees that have adapted to living in salt water and are rich habitats that serve as a life support to many species of marine life, as well as birds, reptiles, and species of mammals. They also protect the coastline from storms and wave surges. The Philippines has 47 true mangrove species out of 54 known species around the world. Poron Island is said to have one of the largest remaining mangrove forests in the world. Interesting developments are happening here in Busuanga, and resorts have started to sprout up around the area. We hope that the mangroves are protected and kept the way they are. As the sun began to set, we headed back to the yacht to enjoy some peace and quiet in the still waters of Busuanga. are still more coves left to be explored in the morning. Stay tuned as we head to the mystical waters in one of the islands off the shores of Busuanga. The next day started with a leisurely breakfast and quiet time in the Archangel. Later on, I found some fishing lines and decided to try my luck in the hopes of catching some fish for lunch. However, as always, luck wasn't on my side that day. Not a single catch. We decided to head over to the town market of Poron to see the catch of the day.
We're going to get some supplies here at the market. There's nothing like being in a real big town. In this part of the world, this is already considered as a big town. Roosters everywhere. I don't know if it's cockfighting today, but the roosters are out.
The great thing about being in a coastal town is the guarantee of buying fresh seafood. Fresh shrimp is readily available in the wet market for the fraction of the price in Manila. You just have to have very good haggling skills like I do.
Morning. Yes, we had very good shopping. Let's go.
I went back to the yacht with the day's catch. Later that day, we are joined by our good friends Terry and Lynn, whom we have also traveled with before. They've also come to Busuanga aboard their yacht. Terry and I see each other at the oddest places, and getting around is certainly very convenient with a yacht like his.
Nice to see you. Good to see you.
Plenty of places, huh?
Everywhere, you know, we talk every day. We talk every day and we
Yeah, I seen you on the video. Nice to meet you.
They were given a tour of the Archangel. Of course, we didn't pass up the opportunity to climb on board the Lynn Marie. We then made plans to head to the mystical lakes of Poron.
Well, Terry, I'm very proud to show you what our country has, huh?
It's beautiful. Thank you for taking us so many places, Joy. This is fantastic.
I mean, how many hundreds of years before this formed? And look at all these greens against the rocks, the limestone. Very dramatic in this area, huh?
Gorgeous.
The mystical lakes of Poron are very dramatic and mysterious. It's like being in a lost world.
Look at all these boats. They come from the main island. No one is allowed to stay here. And everybody comes here and queue up to be able to get a chance to see this lake.
It is a playground of limestone cliffs, hidden lagoons, thermal lakes, white sand beaches, as well as wreck dive sites waiting to be explored.
Well, that was a good swim. I can't seem to pull Terry out of that place. He looks like he's really enjoying himself.
What adds to the mystery of these lakes is that fact that only few are accessible because of the sharp rock formations that surround them. Since we have the Augusta with us, we may have the advantage of being able to see the mystical lakes in all its glory. The boat ride back to the yacht was very serene and magical, just like our whole experience here has been. That evening, we had a final dinner on board the Archangel and just enjoyed the great food and company of good friends. The next morning, we decided to fly over the mystical lakes to be able to see more of its serene beauty. It is definitely a breathtaking sight to behold from above. Busuanga is truly a feast for the senses. With its unspoiled beauty and sights that seem to have withstood time. This is one of the few places on Earth where everything seems to be in its natural habitat. And the balance of life is well maintained. Conservation awareness is the main lesson of my time in this magnificent piece of paradise. And navigating through its isolated location is much easier with the Augusta and the Archangel. Archie and I can't be any luckier to have the chance to explore these places. The Philippines is such a beautiful country, and everyone has the responsibility of keeping it that way. It was a safe landing back to Manila, and we're already planning where the next adventure will take us.
This has been your captain, Joy Roa. See you in our next Asian Air Safari.